What's going down, Thor? Best my banner, back with another Thor's Thoughts live. Thor's Thoughts Thursdays. Thursdays, Thor's Thoughts. Tell me which one you like better. Which one has better articulation? But if you saw the thumbnail's not really there, but if you saw the thumbnail in the waiting for the stream that was just there, it's Superman Spectacular. So I got nine Superman and Superman related figures here. We're going to open them all. I'm going to review them. And then I'm going to go to bed. That's the plan. But while the YouTubes tell people I'm here doing this, the plan is open up Static Shock. So while we wait, little appetizer, little appetizer. There you go. Shattuck Stock or Static Shock. New 52 version. Now, right out the get, what bugs me most about this figure is you see the back of the box. It's gorgeous. It's a good looking back. The figure inside, whoa. The figure inside looks nothing like the figure on the back of the box. What up, Toy Posse? What's going down? Minnesota Toy Posse in the house? Hey. I want to be more like a Krusty the Clown, but that came out a little bit more Fat Albert. Krusty the Clown was like, hey, where Fat Albert was, hey. But, so there you go. Face the blue, smiling face. Smiling. Yeah, exactly. Nailed it. So this Static Shock figure I picked up for $8. I had to look at the price. That was on the thing back some time ago. And I had zero intentions of getting this figure. But if I'm in a clearance section and I see something for $8, I'm a sucker. And I'll get it. Now, it does come with two, which is good. Little lightning effects. Can't see them because it's live and not pre-recorded where I can take nice pictures of stuff. But if you want that, there's plenty of that on the YouTube channel there for you. Oh, quick shout out. If you see the new Base My Banner hoodie, those are available. There, see, it's a hoodie. Proved it. Those are available now. Click the link down below. We also have some t-shirts, some other merch. Gotta have merch. There you go. So now, like I said, this Static Shock was not the Static Shock I would say most people were hoping for, right? Like, we're hoping for the one that was either on the back of the box. Yeah, that one. Or maybe like the one from the cartoon from like what, the early 2000s? Was Static Shock? Let me know in the comments. Static Shock, what year did that cartoon come out? I want to say 2002. That sounds right in my head. Might have been a little earlier. Might have been a tick earlier. Not too bad. Now, you know what? I forgot about this. So this one actually has like a base. It's got a handy dandy Mcfarlane standee, obviously, but it's got like a metal that doesn't really look like metal. It looks more like blue plastic base, which isn't bad. I mean, it could be worse. It could be better. It's not awful. So what we got? Yeah, card again. Not the figure in the box. Alas, there's your handy dandy Mcfarlane standee. Gotta have that. All right, hold on. Now, honestly, I got Static Shock for, like I said, clearance price, obviously, but I think he will go on my Young Justice, not Young Justice. The sidekicks. Oh, his leg just popped off. That was sweet. I literally like tried to pose him just a hair, and that leg was right out of there. It's weird. I've heard like they say he's got Whoopi Goldberg hair, which I think is funny, but not super funny. I mean, it's not accurate. That's all I'm gonna say. That is all I am gonna say. I don't dislike this figure. I definitely there's no way I'm paying $20 for this figure. An 8 might even be. I would have felt better if this was from Ross for like 6. This $5.99 figures from Ross. You know what I'm talking about. But throw him on my Teen Titans. My Titans. It could be Titan Young Justice sidekick-ish. I mean, I know Static Shock wasn't the sidekick to Black Lightning, even though their powers are dang near identical, I think. There you go. All right. We're 6 minutes in. We got a toy out of the way. The appetizer, Static Shock. Unimpressive. 6.5 out of 10. He's a $6 Ross figure. There you go. That's what I'll say. Outside of that, I would wait for a new version or a different version. He's also too tall. He's bigger. He should be, for my money. Well, I don't know what New 52, how Virgil's supposed to be a New 52, but yeah, typically, wait, it just says here, a typical nerdy high school student with a passion for science and pop culture. Okay. I'm sorry. This guy is no high school student. He's a super duper duper senior if he is. That dude's in his 20s. Alas. Where are you going? Bottom. For now. I'll figure out where to put him later. We got the Superman Spectacular to get into here. No time. Well, I mean, a little time. We said get appetizer. Okay, so anybody. I got Eradicator here. John Kent. Yep, John Kent. Superman Action Comics 1. Superman Action Comics 1000 with Atomic Skull. Calabac Mega Figure. Mongol Mega Figure. Like I said, Superman Spectacular. 9 super-esque super person figures or Superman adjacent figures. Let's go. I don't have time to ramble, but you know me. I'm going to ramble. That's how I roll. That is how I roll. I think I'm going to go John Kent first. So while I get into John Kent, you tell me who you want to see next. With these, since I don't have my usual array of pictures and video and all the stuff I do for normal reviews, since these are live, or this is live, you know what I mean. I'm going to just kind of bust it out, talk about it, and then grade it and move on, because that's really all anybody cares about. What's the grade? Is it worth the money? You know? Now, this John Kent is a future state figure. I don't know much about him. I will say, out of the gate, 2 positives. He comes with a pair of fists and a pair of open hands. Now, he comes with one of each on, which is weird, a weird choice. Like, just put both on is fine. Only one band holding him down. Oh, sweet. I didn't even notice this in the back. I got him as a freebie in a Mcfarlane purchase from last Black Friday. It might be real. There's the card. I've never read Future State. I know there's a Batman Future State out there, but again, I've never read Future State. Okay, so now no handy dandy Mcfarlane standee, just the flight Mcfarlane standee. Now, you know my stance. I should have, well, not 9 of these, but I should have like 4 or 5 of these by the time I'm done with this video, because I think every super person or flying figure should come with the clear plexi flight stand. It can't be that much more to throw him in than just a handy dandy, Mcfarlane standee. This is a pretty basic figure. The jawline is just, it's too much on this guy. That was my biggest, I never was going to purchase this figure if he wouldn't have come free from Mcfarlane along with one of my other purchases. And it was one of those dented boxes, or they're just appreciation figures, whatever. I don't even know. There's no way I would have got him. The eyes aren't bad. You could probably use that head for a full-size Superman, and you'd be all right. It's a skinny body. This is the size body buck that Static Shock should have been. If Static Shock's a teenager, this is the little buck. This is the this is the Robin body, or who else? Kid Flash, Impulse. They've done a bunch. I don't know if this is the exact same, but they've used this one a number of times, and it's a more slender figure. It's a smaller, he's not all jacked. Because I don't know that I'd call that last Static Shock figure jacked, but he's not small. He's definitely taller than this figure too. So I don't know. There's nothing that jumps out that like this figure's, meh. But there's just something about it when you look at it that you're like, this figure's meh. I just can't put my finger on it. Like, I can't say why. And it can't just be the head sculpt. It might just be the head sculpt. I do dislike that head sculpt a lot. Not gonna lie. I hate it. It's got the glowing eyes. It would be good for like a Superboy, maybe like bigger. It's just the jawline is too big for like the little body. Like, it had to be a smaller head. They almost could have used that head on the Superboy. No, because it looks like kind of like the same jawline. They love a thick jawline on a super person figure. They love it. We'll just wait till we get to Action Comics 1. He's a thick boy. Man. All right, Superman John Kent, future state, real name Jonathan Samuel John Kent. After his father, the first Superman, is exiled from Earth, John takes on the symbol of hope and becomes the Man of Steel. As Superman, he stands ready to protect the world using his incredible superpowers to prove himself and protect the people of Metropolis with the S shield on his chest. It's probably a 6. Like, this figure is probably a 6. Like, there's no, unless you're a huge future state fan or just a huge super person fan, I don't really see a need for probably having this figure in your collection. And be honest with you, like, it's a fine figure. It's, like I said, there's nothing that jumps out at you besides the head. The head is too big. The head is too big. Whatever. I'm moving on. Let's go to a mega figure. Let's go to someone I've had sitting around for far too long, which is part of the reason I wanted to do this whole Superman spectacular was I just had a whole bunch of super figures like building up, taking up space, and then I wanted to get out. I have this empty shelf. I don't know if you can see. Actually, it's right above Atomic Skull and Superman. Here, let me move this. Maybe you can see a little better. Right there. That's gonna be, I think, my new Superman shelf. I think I'm gonna put all the super figures. I got Doomsday down here. He's hiding the box are hiding him, but I got Doomsday. I got a bunch of super figures. Then with these 9 super figures, I think that's a brand new shelf is born, and Superman gets his own shelf. I don't know. I had an idea of like maybe doing 2 Supermans where they're doing like the fist bump, walking towards all the bad guys on the shelf. That'd be kind of cool. Kind of like that. You ever seen that Goku and Vegeta picture where I think they're walking at all the superheroes, like fist bumping? Akin to that. But no, I've had this Mongol probably about as long as I've had this Jonathan Kent. Maybe last Christmas, maybe last winter for sure. I know it's been a while. Like, I got on Reddit around the time he came out. I never really saw him in stores at all. I never saw him for clearance, so I'm kind of glad I ended up snagging him from the toy store when I did, over a year ago. He's a cool figure. I mean, he is like, he's bigger than the Fulcrum Abominus, which I think is kind of nuts. Oh yeah, one of those big thick ties around him, one of the beefy ties, and then a piece of tape around his legs. That's stopping a would-be criminal. Some tape. But this is, I mean, they've done, I don't know if they've done more Superman villains than I mean, Superman and Batman villains are obviously the top two they've done, and then maybe Flash villains. It's a cool card. It's a comic card, so it was, it's a newer figure than the John Kent because that's an old school figure card back when they like weren't using comic cards for a while. Yeah, we've gotten a lot of bad guys for Superman and a lot of bad guys for Batman, but I'm honestly not complaining. I will take all Batman's Rogue Gallery, although I will say when we're getting like Catman's before we've gotten maybe some more well-known Rogues Gallery figures, I'm a little not annoyed, but perturbed would maybe be the word. Oh my gosh. Oh, dang. I dig this guy. He is big. This Mongol is beefy. He is a beefy boy. He's he's on the taller side for mega figures. Like, I don't know. Everybody's too high and too far away to grab right now, but I love this guy. He's not the instant go-to version I would think of when I think of Mongol. I think I have more of a animated version in my head than this comic version, but no, I'm not mad at this at all. They call it Superman Villains, so it's not even just says Mongol Superman Villains. Like they don't say, I would have loved a second pair of hands for him, complete the pair of fists, and give me a second grabbing hand. Single jointed on the elbows, but double jointed on the knees. He does have the what's that called? Like the elbow bend or the elbow twist, elbow rotation. There it is. Nailed it. He does have elbow rotation. He's got some good veining. It's a nice looking figure. I wish the helmet was a little bit, I don't know, either bigger or smaller. It has to be one of the two. It's like a weird in between size. But this is a dope figure. Like, he's substantially bigger than Jonathan Kent or John Kent or whatever. So, all right, let's read the card real quick and then I'll give him a grade. I like you know what? He's got some machinery on the back here. Almost like almost looks like a winch. It almost looks like a winch thing. Like, I know it's not, but that's kind of cool. I don't know what, again, they don't have a specific Superman Villains. I don't think is an actual comic or run. I think it's just literally Superman Villains. So they just took some liberties maybe with the design. It doesn't really look like the one on the card. The card, he's like lit up on the sides. His ear holes on the sides look bigger and like green. And then he's got a bigger chest piece. The chest piece is probably the same, but I'd be hard pressed to say he's the figure on the back of the card. Or, you know what, here, since you're like the back of the card, I can't even see that. The back of the box. There you go. Like that. Not the same. But no, it's not a bad figure. It's just not the same. So, real name Mongol. Mongol is a brutal ruler of the planet-sized weapon of mass destruction called War World. Using War World to conquer the planets across the cosmos, the tyrant enslaves the inhabitants and forces the strongest among them to serve his horde army or suffer an uncertain fate in a gladiator-style games for his amusement. That's cool. Rock-like body. I don't look at that body and think of rock texturing. Rapid regeneration, makes nearly invincible, super strength, super speed, super agility, which is why he's a perfect Superman villain. I want to like this thing, but it's like a 7.5. It's maybe even a 7. If they would have had an extra pair of hands, done something different, again with the head. These two figures both have the same problem. The head's kind of whack, and it brings the overall figure grades down because solid head. Honestly, a great head can make up for maybe some body issues. But it's just, like I said, the helmet on Mongol needs to be either bigger or smaller, or just change some way. And then John Kent, they just need to do a different head sculpt that matches that body size better. All right, let's switch back over to this side. Then we're going to go Eradicator. And then after Eradicator, go Calabac. And then we got Action Comics 1 versus Action Comics 1000 Supermans plus Atomic Skull as like a little cherry on top. And there you go, nine. Is that really 9 figures? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 7. 7 superheroes. So 7 super figures. 8 if you count Static Shock. So this Eradicator was a gold label Walmart exclusive. And my buddy found him. One of my work buddies, shout out Jeffrey, came across him when he was out. I don't even remember. But he sent me a picture via email. I was like, you want him? And I was like, heck yeah, dude. Like, you know me. Like, I'm not passing that down. Which is cool because they just released it this week. This same body with the same cape and the same almost everything, same hands, just a different head and different paint scheme for the Justice Lord 2-pack that's with Batman Beyond. And you're like, Thor, we got 3 Batman Beyonds. Well, this Batman Beyond is like got green piping. So if that pushes you over the edge, I'll be honest with you, it's nice. I didn't pre-order it. I thought about it, but I didn't pre-order it yet. Same with Bat Santa. My problem with Bat Santa is the price. 30, I think, is just too much. Like, I just think 30 is too much for the Bat Santas. 50 if you get both of them. But then I'm like, I don't need 2 Bat Santas. Like, I really don't. Like, I've tried to justify it in my head. Okay, this is interesting. The hands are like, they have some like fingers ripped out of the gloves, but then he's got a pair of fists on him with obviously like full black glove hands. Why did I think he had accessories? You know what accessories would look good on him? Those Static Shock accessories from earlier. I'm gonna grab those because there's the card and you can see he's got some glowy hand thingies. So they should have given him, like, I know he got a pair of hands, but he should have had hands and accessories, like effect accessories. I'm trying to be more specific here. Here, let me grab Static Shocks. Now I think Static Shocks, man, that Static Shock, I look at it, it's just weaker and weaker. Okay, let me get him on. Now I know there's like a couple versions of this Eradicator one, and this is from, where's the box? It says Shockwave. Never read that story. To be honest with you, I actually don't know who Eradicator was. I remember when they first announced this figure, I thought it was Cyborg Superman. Which I'm still surprised that we don't have a Cyborg Superman. But I digress. Sorry. This is a dope Superman. This is far better. Now, 2 things with him. He didn't come with a flight stand. And they couldn't even give him real accessories. Come on, you got to do at least one of those things. Like, you either give him extra accessories with the hands or the flight stand, baby. Like, you can't go no flight stand, no accessories, and then be like, yeah, it's a gold label. He does look better. Look at that with the Static Shock accessories. You see that? That's not bad. I'll be honest with you. I'm not hating that. Now, obviously, I'll get him a flight stand here at some point. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to throw Jonathan Kent. Dang. Come on, Mongol. Help me out here. I will say sometimes those mega figures just there you go. I'm pitching John Kent out here. Calling a substitution. You don't deserve your flight stand. You don't even have a cape. What do you need a flight stand for? Right, you're out of here. There you go. Whoa. Red cape is a little heavy. Maybe that's why they that cape is heavy. Dang. Yeah, I underestimated the size of that thing. That thing is beefy. It definitely throws the figure. Maybe just go one-legged on it. Yeah. Yeah. No. It's a good figure. Nonetheless, I mean, it's solid. Of the 3 figures I've opened so far, he's the best. Now, I'll find out the grade here in a second. Once I figure out who Eradicator even is. Read the card. Ugh. Come on, John Kent. Ugh. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a John Kent fan. Just not. It's not my cup of tea. All right, here we go. Eradicator, Shockwave. I was right. I thought it said Shockwave on the thing. Real name NA. So Eradicator is his real name. A Kryptonian AI super weapon. The Eradicator eliminated contaminating alien influences. On Earth, it built a fortress of solitude before trying to convert the planet into New Krypton. It took Superman's form after Doomsday killed him, and on his resurrection, melded with Star Lab scientist David Connor. After joining Hank Hershaw's Superman Revenge Squad, the Eradicator served Zod's family. Interesting. Still don't think I fully understand who this guy is, even after reading that card. But it's a dope figure. He's like an 8. It's if he had an extra pair of, he's got the hands, but if he had an actual accessories and a flight stand, he could get a higher grade. But he's like an 8. So which is still better than the 6.5 that is John Kent, and even the 7 that is Mongol. And I said 7.5. I'm leaning more towards 7 on Mongol now, just because I don't even know if the head's proportionate to the body. Like the head might be too small for how tall the body is. The head needs to be larger. And then again, I don't even like the stupid helmet. It's ridiculous. All right, now this dude is heavy. Calabac, Darkseid War, the son of Darkseid. Well, technically the son of the High Father, because Darkseid and High Father changed sons. So Odin, not Odin. Orion is technically Darkseid's son, and then Calabac is technically High Father's son. Because they tried to change sons to save peace, but it didn't work, and they ended up fighting anyways. So, alas, but there you go. I saw this. Oh no, this was this Calabac I got for $30 off Amazon, which is a good deal because he's $40 mega figures. Anytime I get a sale or get a deal on these mega figures, I'm gonna take it, because a lot of times, kind of my problem with them is they just don't come with enough stuff. Like there's never any extra hands. There's rarely accessories. There's nothing that comes with them. Now this one actually does have an accessory. He's got Calabac's weapon, which I don't know. It's like a club. It's something. No extra hands. No, nothing on top of that. And I just thought this Calabac looked pretty sick. Let me be honest with you. I thought. There it is. I was looking for the. They hid the. They had the tie downs. I couldn't find them at first. So I'd say Eradicator is definitely, of the 3 figures I've opened, the best. But that might be short-lived because this dude, Calabac, Darkside War, might easily beat that. Even the club itself is pretty. It's like it's got a spiked handle. I don't know if it goes like that or like that. I think it goes like that. I think it like pokes people with it. Let me see if I can see in the back of the box. Where's that at? See if he's holding it. Nope, you can't tell. Dang. All right, comment section, help me out. Is he holding it? Well, that's got to be the handle right there. That part right there. With the knuckle duster, the spike knuckle duster on the. Boom. Handy dandy Mcfarlane standy. Calabac doesn't need a flight stand because he doesn't fly. Mongol either, but Eradicator really should have had one. That I only have one flight stand at the end of this. If I only have one flight stand at the end of this, with like I'll have 4 Supermans. That not epic fail, but that's a pretty hard fail in my book. Oh, almost missed a couple tie downs here. Dang. All right, there's more than I thought. All right. Holy buckets. Look at how big this dude is. They have like tied up in there. So he's shorter than Mongol, but I bet he weighs an extra like 8 ounces. Maybe not that much, but he weighs a good deal more. Like you can tell this Mongol, you can even feel how hollow he is, and especially in the chest area. This Calabac is solid. Again, single jointed in the elbows. No extra hands, but he does have his, and he's got one. I wish they would have just gave him an actual proper set of fists. Let me see how easy it is to get this weapon in there. Oof, those fists do not move. Holy, that thing is steadfast. Like you can't. I don't know that you could actually get the weapon in his hand. And I mean, you can, but I mean, I think I'm going to mangle it just to get it in there. But here you go. Look at this, dude. The head sculpt is sick. Now, remember I said earlier where a good head sculpt can cover up for shortcomings of a figure? Like, yeah, I can't get the weapon into his hand, but that head sculpt, I almost don't give a crap. That is nice. The head mobility, like a lot of these figures, like a lot of the mega figures, is hampered. Especially like with him, it's just a peg on a hole. So the more you mess with it, the more you expose that, especially in the back, you can see it. Just a single peg up top. But that's the dude. This is a really good figure. Ugh. We'll see it. Okay, there we go. Oh, single jointed in the knees too. So unlike Mongol, where Mongol got double jointed in the knees and just single jointed in the elbows, Calabac is full on single jointed. He's a single jointed figure, essentially. Oh, my ankles are in a weird position too for standing. Dang. He's a cooler figure than the Mongol is. Even with the, like I said, the issue of not being able to get his belt, the little shoulder armor. Yeah, Calabac, man. Even though Superman always kicks Calabac's ass, like every time, just works Calabac. Especially at the animated series, he's just every time Calabac would come to Earth for Darkseid, it'd just be Beatdown City. There you go. All right, Calabac, Darkseid War, real name Calabac, brutal and pitiless. Pitiless? Oh, brutal and pitiless. Calabac is the eldest son of Darkseid, Lord of Apocalypse. He is devoted to his sire and the relentless foe of Orion, the son Darkseid allowed to be raised on New Genesis. When Darkseid was incapacitated, Calabac took command, readied the Chaos Cannon, powered by the Chaos Shard, and the body of Batman's son Damian. Oh, crazy. To destroy the inhabited planets and channel their energies back to Apocalypse. Oh, he's done one thing right then. He revived his dad when his dad was near dead. But for the most part, Calabac always screws up and gets his ass kicked. So there's that. But this figure's dope. This figure's like an 8.5. It could have got a higher grade again if they would have had 2 fists instead of 1, just an extra fist in there. And then if this hand had any give, I could probably heat it up and I can probably jam that weapon in there. Probably. Yeah. The thumb's got enough give where I can, I hesitate to sit here and you know, all right, real quick. I gotta get moving here. Dang. No, I can't get it. You know what? I'm not even gonna mess. I'll mess around. I'll mess around later. We'll get it. We'll fix it in post, like they say. Even though this is live, so there's no post. So, but if you want to see some pictures of these guys, I'll probably post some pictures on Instagram. Since I don't have like my nice edited pictures and video, we'll still get some stuff. I don't know if I'll get all 7 figures in a photo, full-on photo shoot, but I'll try and get some of them here. Now this Action Comics 1000 Superman Atomic Skull Action Comics version, I'm really pumped for. I've heard nothing but good things from any of my friends who have gotten it, or anybody who I've seen online review it. They've all had good things to say. I will say I do have Action Comics Superman, both other versions. I have the regular version, the Angry Face version. This will be my 3rd Action Comics 1000 version, this lighter blue version. My first Atomic Skull, because it's the first in the line. But my second set of Flames, I'm not super pumped about that. I will say this was the weakest stand. The flames they used for Batman versus Asbat. Where are they? The orange flames. They're actually what? I don't even know where those things are. Oh no, I lied. They're behind Batman down on this shelf, right here. You can see. Let me see. Down over there. The weakest base that they ever put out for a 2-pack was the flame base. It was awful to get the Asbat on. It didn't work really well. It looked okay, but I was not excited to see it again. I really wasn't. Now, with this Action Comics 1000 Superman, they lightened him up a little bit, but he literally has the same 1 fist, 2 open hands, and a hand that looks like it's gripping something, but he doesn't have anything to grip. Not like a piece of steel or anything to like beat Atomic Skull with. Nothing. Now, I will say Atomic Skull seems like an amalgamation of so many figures they've already done. Like the skull seems like it's from the Blight figure that they did. The armor is definitely a retool of the Lex Luthor armor, but this Atomic Skull definitely has enough new stuff about him to make him worth, I think, picking up this 2-pack. So there you go. There's your purple flames of glory. It's a 2-piece base. It's not a good base. They should have just done something else. Like I mean, I don't know what else you would have done. They've done 2-packs baseless before. Baseless 2-packs. Maybe just do that. Or you know what? Since I'm seeing no flight stands in here, give me a flight stand. I'd take 2 flight stands over. I would take 2 flight stands over the Purple Flames. You tell me. What do you think? There you go. There's your Superman Action Comics card, which is the exact same as the back of the box. And then you got Atomic Skull, which is a really dope figure. I mean, I'm kind of crazy we're getting an Atomic Skull. Although we haven't gotten like Parasite yet. There's a lot of, for as many Batman and Superman villains that we've got, there's just as many that we haven't, honestly. And I think that's for either side of that coin. You could say that. It's nice that Atomic Skull has a different pair of hands. So he has regular hands. He's got a regular fist and a regular open hand. Just one of each now. Let's be real. I don't want to get crazy. And then he's got... And then with him, or on him, he's got like a blast, one that's like blasting out, which is cool. It's got like a little... It almost looks like... Sort I'm thinking of. Oh, they're the see-through hands. Oh no, they're effects and hands in the same thing. I don't love that. I didn't love that for these look better than like Ravens. They did these for Raven and it didn't go super well. They did them for Black Lightning and I didn't think I was going to like it, and I haven't actually seen them to say 100% I do. But from what I've seen from people picking it up and showing me, I kind of think that they did an all right job with the Black Lightning version. These are not bad because you can see the hand and you can see the effect. Like I think they tried to do it with the Raven one, but the hand is so lost in her effect that you can't tell there's a hand in there. So it just looks like fire on her arms, which is just it's just weird. These look good. One looks like it's on fire, and one looks like it's blasting, like a special beam cannon, where it's got the spiral along the spike coming out. And then the Flamin' Skull looks sick. This is a sick figure. This Atomic Skull is not one to be slept on. I just don't know. You're probably not going to get another version of this one. I don't foresee them being like, yeah, we need like 4 or 5 versions of Atomic Skull. No, I could be wrong. You could be getting him in every color in the rainbow in the next 2 years. Who knows? Now that they have the actual sculpt, anything's possible. I mean, look they gave you Purple Flames. So, multicolored Atomic Skulls. That's a good figure. They did enough tweaking to the armor where you're like, that's Lex Luthor's armor. It's 100% Lex Luthor's armor, but it almost looks a little Brainiac-ish, where you have like 3 dots on the calf armor pieces. Man, he's the I'm torn. I can't tell if I like him more or Calabac, but he's in line with Calabac. All right, real quick, let me read this card. Atomic Skull, Action Comics, real name Joseph Martin. While on an experimental Star Labs submarine, scientist Joseph Martin was exposed to nuclear energy. Shipwrecked on a desert island, he survived by releasing deadly nuclear blasts from his mouth. His skin and muscles literally peeled off of his face, inspiring him to create a supervillain for hire persona, Atomic Skull. He regularly clashed with Superman, both alone and with criminals such as Major Disaster and the Royal Flush Gang. In recent times, Martin reformed fighting criminals with the Metropolis Special Crimes Unit, Superwoman, and the Teen Titans. Atomic Skull's in the Teen Titans? Crazy. But this was Superman versus Atomic Skull, right? Yeah, that's what it says. So this must be the bad guy version. Let's go with that. I want to see Major Disaster or the Royal Flush Gang. I want both of those name drop characters now. You can't just name drop some goodness like that and then be like, ah. All right. So let me get this one out. Let me get this Superman out, and then I'm gonna get the McFarlane Collector's Edition Wave 1 Superman. So we got Action Comics 1000 Superman here. I'll get into him here in a second. Let me get Action Comics number 1 Superman out. I'm trying to clean up just a little bit here. I have made a giant mess. Black Canary. Yeah, I'd love to see a Black Canary. Cassandra Cain, lots of female figures. Zatanna. Go ahead and just name drop all the female figures you'd love to see McFarlane release, because the list is long and keeps growing. All right, so we got Action Comics 1000 Superman right here, the one that came with the Atomic Skull. Let me get Action Comics 1 Superman, and then we got Action Comics 1, Action Comics 1000. We'll do a little comparison, give some final grades, and we'll put a wrap on this thing. I get to bed. It's getting late. I got to work in the morning. So, did I give Atomic Skull a grade yet? 8.5. He's an 8.5. I don't know if I can go full 9 because he only has one fist and regular hands. I think that it should have been maybe 2 sets of regular hands and then the 1 set of specialty hands. If you can give Firestorm from the upcoming Wave 2 of the collector's editions 10 hands for a $40 2-pack, you can give Atomic Skull 4 hands. Well, 6 total, but you know what I'm saying. But here we go. All right, so Action Comics 1000 Superman. Let's move everyone down here. Calabac, you're out of the way. Boom. You're out of the way. There you go. There's the guy. Now, a lot of people will say Action Comics 1000 Superman is the best Superman they have done. I am in that camp as well. Ooh, the Question and Huntress 2-pack. Yes. Heck yes. Give me that goodness. Some things about the Action Comics 1000 Superman that I don't love. He has still the balls and the balls for ankles and wrist joints. Like they're not the molded ones that bend. They're just the balls. That's a little bit of a drawback. And then his arms are only single jointed. They're not double jointed arms. So his mobility is a little bit hampered. Now, compared to the Hush Superman, or, how many infected Superman bodies how long are we going to run this one? And they haven't really done, I think, a definitive one in that Page Puncher's body style yet, which is that the Eradicator one? No, maybe. But yeah, it's just so while the Superman Action Comics I think still is the best, I still think they could improve and make it's not perfect, right? They still, I think, could do a perfect Superman down the road if they wanted to. But if you don't have the Action Comics ones, let's say you weren't collecting in the early days of the wave, picking up the Action Comics 1000 with Atomic Skull, highly recommended. So there you go. There's the Action Comics 1 card stand and card. You can see it's the cover of Action Comics 1. So yes, he has the red boots, all the bells and whistles. Now this isn't the platinum version. So the platinum version of this has the boots, the red boots, because it's for the cover. This is the interior page version where he didn't have boots or didn't have red boots, I should say. Now, being it's a collector's edition, I would be remiss to say Action Comic early day Superman did not have boots like we know him. He actually had like wrestling boots like with laces and stuff like that. So do I wish for a $30 collector's edition he had comic accurate like wrestling boots with laces? Yeah, I do. I do. It doesn't bug me that they're not red. It bugs me that they're not wrestling boots. So now this figure does come with an accessory, the chains across his chest, wrapped across his chest, and then you get the card and the card stand. Now these collector's editions do go for $29.99. In that first wave, I do question if we're there on price. I'll say that because or there with like what we get for the price, because I just I don't know. That's for each individual to decide. Now your handy dandy McFarlane standee for the collector's editions has a little a little silver DC logo instead of just the all black one. It's a nice little touch. Now, this I hadn't seen before. The flight stand that comes with him looks exactly the same, except they put a black DC on the stamp on the bottom there. Granted, I have 4 Supermans or super figures and only 2 flight stands. That is more of an egregious problem for me than anything. Oh, there it is. So there's a part in Superman Action Comics ones where he's busting out of the chains, and that's where this Superman's supposed to be from. That's the one. He's not the cover one catching. The platinum version is, but he also has the chains because that's what the packaging is. But that's the rub of Action Comics 1 Superman, right? Where I don't know, they do have a statue of him catching the green car, and I understand, like, people be like, well, why can't the collector's edition be like him and like essentially the front of the green car or something like that? So Green Canary, I'd take her too. There's so many female figures, but there you go. You got Action Comics. All right, let's start from the beginning. We got John Kent, Future State out here on my left, Eradicator Shockwave next to him, then sliding in Action Comics 1 Superman, Action Comics 1000 Superman, Mongol, Supervillains, Calabac, Dark Side War, Atomic Skull, part of the 2-pack with the Action Comics 1000 Superman, the Action Comics 1 Superman, the Action Comics 1000 Superman. They're both really good. Like I said, the Action Comics 1000 is my preferred best Superman in the line. I don't think anything on this table is a perfect 10. I think they all have their flaws. I think even as good as a lot of people do dislike the head sculpt for the Superman, for the Action Comics 1 Superman. I don't. I think it's actually pretty on point for what I think the figure in this comic would look like. It's so lack of detail that you really could draw a lot of imagination to what he should look like in a plasticized version. Plasticized. But he's like an 8, 8.5, similar to like Calabac. The Action Comics 1000 Superman, that for me was always a 10 out of 10. Now, I don't think this version's any different. I actually kind of like the muted blue versus the you know what, here you go, versus like the shinier blue. There's your Action Comics 1000 Superman, same cape, same everything. It's just they took the chroming of the Superman S, took that out, muted the blue down a little bit, toned down the red a little bit. I actually dig it. That's a 10 for me. The Atomic Skull is like a 9. It could easily be more if it just had that little bit extra. Calabac is a solid 8.5. Again, a little bit more. He could have gone up. Mongol 7.5. I didn't love the head sculpt. It is what it is. Eradicator, gave him a solid 8. No flight stand, no effects, kind of hurt his. What's going on? What's going on, man? It kind of hurt his grade, but I do love the sculpt. And I do love the look of that Eradicator, even though I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. John Kent, maybe the weakest of the group. Oh, let's not forget, if you join me for the from the beginning, we did do Shattuck stock. I did it twice. Static Shock. This figure is awful. It's like a 6.5. But that John Kent, that's not great either. That's probably right in line with like a 6.5, 7. But there you go. The Superman plus Static Shock Spectacular. Superman Spectacular. Thanks my banner. Thor. Like, share, subscribe. Go check out the merch down below. Superman Spectacular. They're dope. There's a lot of super figures. I'm going to have a lot of fun building this super shelf. Go check out the Instagram and check out all the things for the pictures and the post live stream wrap. But until the next one, you know what to do. You know what to do. Deuces. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Do I have any customs? Yes, I do have some customs. I have a custom Lobo, kind of out of frame right above my head here. I have a custom Spawn. I need to do some more stuff on. Yeah, I definitely have some customs for sure. Thanks for watching. Laters.